Alrighty. Hello. Hello again. This is part 2 for real. Hopefully we're having some stream problems getting back up and going. Hopefully this will be a little bit more stable. I won't go over everything again, but we are in the middle of painting a ancient red dragon that I'm painting up for a D&D boss fight. And we have some exciting painting troubles to work through. The red that I have and I'm trying to use is a little too cool for my taste. And so I am attempting to warm it up with some burnt sienna. And it's actually working pretty well. So we're going to try working with that. We did a base coat in burnt sienna. Then we put some burnt sienna in our red, just a very small amount to warm it up. And that's what our main top color is. And then we stippled it with some cranberry wine purple, which turned out really well. And that's going to be then dry brushed with some more of that, and then probably some black to really give this kind of cool lava look, hopefully, for this ancient red dragon. And anything that is horn-based or this crest down the back will probably be that. So there's lots of great texture on here, so we're probably going to get some good dry brushing. But on the underside, we're going for like a lot warmer look. Now, the orange might be a little bit much for my taste, but I think we're going to try to do some things with this to warm it up, make it match with the other reds more. And especially on this underside, we've got this really light, or these like kind of plates that I really want to play around with. There's lots of great textures for dry brushing here. I really want to emphasize this concept of like the outside of this dragon is cooled and has these cooler color, or these darker colors, more saturated colors. Something where like if it were to curl up into a ball, it would almost look like some cooling lava or something like that. But then when it opens itself up and flares out, you see this much bigger, like brighter core. So kind of how those animals like a cobra might flare its neck, or other animals might spread their wings or stuff like that to look more intimidating. I could totally see a dragon, it's a creature. It lives in an environment that it will then, if it feels threatened, might rear back and show its big, bright underbelly to try to intimidate. So we've mostly gotten the wings done for like base coats and stuff. We have not highlighted yet. We haven't dry brushed yet. And we're trying to get everything else to that point. So I think what I want to do is try to get everything to the point where I have the wings. That's the next goal. So we were working on the face. I think that's mostly done. So let's start working on some of the other underbits here, which are going to need to be brightened up a little bit, which I think I'm going to do by adding some orange into this brown, this burnt sienna red that I've been using. So and try to get you guys good angles as I paint here, which can't always happen, but I'll do my best. And who knows, I might be able to throw some yellow in this as well, and just kind of skip past the orange. We'll see. But that's definitely going to be the most difficult part here, is getting those brighter colors without getting it too muddled and weird looking. I'm thinking almost a tan color for this front throat area. See how that works. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm pretty much throwing some burnt sienna into all the colors I'm using, because I want to kind of keep that base brownish rust going on. And if I can keep that going, I think all the colors will tie together, because even though the orange is a bit bright for my taste, it still is in the right, like, ballpark color-wise. So I know how I made this red, so I'm feeling pretty confident throwing some extra color in there. Sweet. Thanks, Captain. Looks like the stream is good. And this is your daily reminder that when painting miniatures, have good posture so you don't give yourself a crick in the neck. I have legitimately gotten sore muscles from painting for too long. So I'm trying to keep the outside lens here pretty red and kind of on the darker side of things. I'll do the inside of the legs and the belly and stuff in that kind of lighter orange color. Don't we all, Deb? Don't we all? But I've said this before, and I'll say it again. This model has lots of great little texture spots where a dry brush is going to come in super handy, and that's where I think this model is really gonna pop if I can get the highlights right. The highlights and the lowlights, because the top I'm going to low light and the inside I'm going to highlight. If I'm using that terminology correctly. So I think now that we've got most of these down, well, I want to point out I got this model from Miguel Zavala, I believe. He has modeled the entire D&D Monster Manual in 3D and has them for free on Thingiverse to 3D print, which I did. And so this is brought to you by his modeling genius. I did do a little bit of my own just cutting of it to make it that I could print the wings and the tail and the body all separate. But apart from that, that is entirely his baby. I think you can find his stuff just by Googling it too. I think Geek and Sundry did a article on him at one point. So I'm just trying to get these claws finished up. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. Now this is the interesting part. Trying to get this orange to look right. So I think what we're going to do, yeah, he is the best. I know that some of his models I'm not the biggest fan of, but I mean, like, how can I complain about free stuff? But some of his stuff he just knocks out of the park, and I am a big fan of those. This is one of them. So I think what we're doing here, we're getting some of this orange. We're going to be eating a lot of this. We're going to put in some burnt sienna, just about a drop. And we're going to put in a couple drops of red. And that's going to make almost a salmon orange. That is still like brought down color wise. I can't remember what this one is. So, oops. This one might actually even be too red. But we'll see. Something I have found is that darker colors just really stain the lighter ones, and I'm still getting the hang of that one mixing, because I started in black and white. I started with pencil. I understand values. I don't understand color. So I've got some learning to do, but I've got plenty of artist friends who are very happy to help me out in that department. Okay, so I think that's a good orange here. Now it is time to take another look at under these wings, because they're just a little bit too orange. They're starting too orange and they need to be able to be brightened in certain areas. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit more of like a rich pink instead of a desaturated pink if you lighten red with white. Ooh, yeah, that's better. That's better. I've been using the age-old acrylic trick of, well, if you don't like the first layer, put another layer on. Which I know will only get you so far, but hey, I am still learning. Go. Oh, that is so much better. Yeah, that red really helped. I have used this this blue dragon that I painted before as an example, but I'm still getting used to using different colors to lighten other colors, because I have this blue dragon I've been using as an example that I painted a little while back. And what was so nice about this is that I could literally just use white and black to lighten and darken my blue, which is super handy. But I can't do that with red, because red goes kind of like this weird bluish color. When you put in black, and it also turns into this real kind of like pinkish, like Valentine's Day pink, off camera, when you put white into it. And I just don't want that for a dragon like this. And so I'm trying to use orange as the lightener. Orange and maybe yellow, we'll see, to really lighten stuff up. Yeah, you can't just use black and white with red. You need those other colors to lighten and darken. I am happy to see that this kind of orangey salmon color is going the direction that I'm wanting it to go. All right, so let's see what we got here. So we got this nice dark backside, and then we roll forward, and yeah, that is the right color contrast right there. Okay, so I really like this color here. It is about, I'd say 4 parts orange, 2 parts red, 1 part burnt sienna. So we'll see if we can mix that again if need be. We're going to use that. We're going to use that as the base coat for that front bit, I'm pretty sure. I might even try to lighten it up a little bit. Ooh, well, we're gonna coat it first and see if maybe adding some yellow to it could make for some interesting stuff. And I am going to swap out brushes because we're about to get into some more detailed oriented area. And man, this brush is taking a beating. Ooh, see that? See that? That is a great stippling brush. That is not great for much else. Let's see. That isn't much better. Well, try it. We'll load up with some paint and see what happens. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna work. That's fine. Now my plan is to get this fairly bright here. With some orange. Oh, I am off camera, aren't I? And we're going to highlight this with yellows. So this is where I'm saying that like the dry brushing is going to come in really handy here, where we're gonna dry brush with yellows. We're going to highlight with yellows on the inside, and then on the darker sides, we are going to be low lighting with that purple. And hopefully catching some of these ridges will make that really pop. I can, once this is done, I can get a detail brush in. Man, these angles are really making me move this around. Yeah, this was a good orange for this. Yellows make things pop. That purple to low light the outside. And we can clean that stuff up later. Okay. So here comes the tough part again, which you missed most of with the internet drop last time, is trying to get the insides of under the belly here. And we're just going to have to be a little bit slapdash about this and hope that we get some good angles. And I'm going to have to figure out how to fade some of this stuff too. Because I don't know how to. But yeah, making the inside here this brighter color, I think really delivers on the idea that its insides are hot. And that's what I want to really convey. I think that'll work. Oh, sitting on my foot again. Don't do that. There we go. Thankfully, a lot of the stuff that I'm kind of running into is stuff I want to paint anyway. But the fade line is just something I'm going to have to feather out and see what it really wants to do. Coming at some weird angles here. Hopefully not get any dried paint seams. And if I need to encroach in with the red again, it's completely doable. Nice thing about acrylics. My sister's a watercolor teacher, and I spent a lot of time in her class. And well, I spent the entirety of the time drawing instead of painting. I did pick up some nuances about watercolor and how challenging it can be, kind of the commitment that you have to make to the color in your choices, and then you just have to work with it. It's not very forgiving as a medium, where I feel like with acrylics you can just, you've got multiple layers to fix your mistakes. However, extra layers cannot help me when I keep my detail off camera. This orange is a little bit transparent though. I'm definitely going to need to put some couple coats on here to really make it work. I also don't want this orange going around too much. Oh man, hands cramping. On the insides here. I think what's going to happen is the red is going to kind of take up this flank a little bit. Lighter red. Because I want the belly to be orange and the wings to be orange, but the flanks I don't think really benefit from it. So yeah. Okay, time for a second layer up here. So I really want to make sure that that burnt sienna base does actually get covered. But man, we've got a good, like if you look at its face right now, this is a nice kind of, come on, there you go. Striking red but still orange face right here, which I really like. And actually, now that I think about it, I think these flares back here would do really well with a little bit of orange back here. We're going to try that a little bit. Nice. We'll clean that up later. Cool. So we're going to let this dry a little bit, and I'm almost out of paint here anyway. Or at least the orange paint. Yeah, I'm liking the contrast here. So now pretty much what it comes down to is I'm going to make the reds darker, and the I'm going to make the reds darker and the orange areas brighter to increase the contrast. So yeah. Oh. But even now you can just see like that is some good contrast going on here. Again, I'm going to do some extra coats of red. Yeah, this needs more red on the legs and such. So, okay, let's keep going. For this, I don't think I need the smaller brush. Get rid of that. Alrighty. See, yeah, we are back to reds. Okay, so we don't want the red to come, or the orange to come all the way up the flank, so we're going to have to repaint that. Let's just prop you up so we get good coverage. Get a brush nice and we'll see if we can get that seam going. Now all this is going to get some purplish low lights, maybe even some blacks at points. So that's going to help with the contrast. I'm mostly just relying on the angles here to dictate like how far I wrap around these legs. Because honestly, I don't really know. I'm just going to have to paint it on, take a look at it, see if it looks good, and so on and so forth. I'm thinking a lot of the claws are going to be black, highlighted with black highlighted with some of that purple to give it kind of a sheen. I think this is actually going to sneak up the wing a little bit. Yeah. Now we're going to work down the tail a little bit. Just get that extra coat to make sure that the color is actually solid and consistent. See if we can blend it decently. Now when I look at it, that orange is not as on there as I would like. Oh, there is the red on this tail. See, now we're starting to get into the part where yes, we are still kind of effectively doing multiple layers of base coats to just kind of get the right colors going. It's time to start clean up your lines, making sure that everything is evenly covered, stuff like that. Okay, time for this side. That's a better angle for you. So, I just realized my door is open. That's extra sound I don't need. Alrighty, let's try that. Get that going there. Let's see. Alrighty. Something that I do like about having this thing fully assembled is that I'm able to just kind of let itself rest as its own natural supports and kind of as its own tripod. And that is nice. I do like that. Oh, so that's red. Thankfully, I was paying attention when I made it, so I know I might remake it. That's always the danger with mixing colors that I run into all the time. Is like, what did I actually do to make this color? Because sometimes you just do not remember. Red's almost gone, but we're just about done with this coat. Yeah, that's looking good. It's a little rough on the tail. Yeah, I think this may have been a different red mix than what I had used for everything else. That's all right. Let's blend that in a little bit. Just as long as you can't tell the line super well. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Looking pretty good. So now, what next? I think no, I've got some red here. I want to get the face nice and bright, and I think this is just some pure red that I have. So if I can really make the face pop, that will be a nice like draw for the centerpiece. So we're gonna see what we can do with that. Just have the entire head be a little bit brighter. I think this might just be my plain old red, but with all the base coats going on, I think this will not be too cool. Because that's the problem I've been having with this red, is just like there's too much blue in it, I feel like. And so that's why I went with the burnt sienna. Can I help with that? But considering all the burnt sienna that I have as the base coat, and also the that's in with the red, that helps. Ooh, yeah, that's gonna make that look real nice. I like it. Okay. So, next up, we've got some wine. We've got paint that sat too long and dried. What we have. So we're just going to get rid of that, because we are now going to be needing a lot more of this. Hey, look, I have 4 viewers. My audience has doubled. Thank you for coming watching me paint. Like I said, I don't normally I use, painting is this nice time where I can just kind of relax and zone out. But sometimes it's nice to share. I kind of felt like streaming today, so that's what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so what we're doing with this. Thanks, MJ. Yeah, I think. Yeah, we'll see, because I've been. They're cooler, but they're also brighter. So we'll see where that goes. Although I was hoping that you'd pop in the chat, because I was gonna say the person who told me to use purple to darken red was you, and I wanted to make sure you got a shout out for that. You know what? I'm still gonna need more of this red too for touch-ups. But yeah, the main red color that I've been using is a good amount of red with a bit of burnt sienna in it to darken it up. Well, to make it, I've been using cool and warm, but effectively it's like to just try to get rid of some of that that blueness to it. And it's turning into this kind of nice, cool rust color that I really like. as kind of a base. So yeah, I think the last reds I mixed up was actually didn't have enough Persienna in it, and so it's making a little bit of a contrast with some of my first coats, which I need to rectify. There we go. That's going to blend better. Now I wanted to work on this back area with the purples, but I need to get these blends right, and so I'm going to have to do these and then let this dry again. Let's get these blends to go. Let's see. I really need to just like mark out a spot on my desk. I'm just like, this is what people can see. This is what people can't see. Mix that up a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. So seeing a lot of base coat coming through here. Alrighty. There we go. That's going to be that cranberry wine purple that is going to make all this pop. Sure. Ooh, I found some wispies. Killer wispies. Okay. So I have recently grown my hair out, and for all of you fine people who have dealt with wispies your entire life, I now feel for you. I get it. They're very frustrating. I commiserate. Let's see. There we go. There we go. We can detail some of that stuff later. Yeah. Wispies are so much fun. I mean, they are aesthetically pleasing in the right context, but they can also be super impractical. So, okay. I think that's what we got there. I would be working back here next, but I can't really because of that. So I guess what we're looking at our highlighting is highlighting some of this front area. So I think we're going to be going, we're going to be going yellow, guys. Now yellow, it's going to be interesting because it is very aggressive. Also very gloopy today, apparently. And if we're dry brushing this, I'll put a little bit of water in there. It might just be a little bit too aggressive. So we'll see. We might need to step it up a little bit or step it down a little bit. So that salmon color that we were going with, my thought that we kind of remake that, but add some yellow in this time. So we've got some Man, we have a very busy palette today. Actually, I've just got some straight red here. So I'm going to throw in... Yeah. The thing is I was using the red to tie everything else in. So we'll see, because I want to take that salmon color that was the orange and red with the burnt sienna, and then throw some yellow in there too to lighten it up and see what that does. So that's where I'm at least starting. And heck, maybe even just not even bothering with the burnt sienna and just going with the red and orange will make it bright enough. We shall see. Okay, that's pretty red. So let's try get some yellow in here. As I said, I do monochrome, black and white. All this color theory stuff is new to me. So my plan is to just like keep working from this palette here, and then effectively just dry brushing this on and keep adding yellow to lighten things up. That needs more yellow. I would not suggest using an X-Acto knife as a paint trowel, but I would suggest using whatever you have to hand. Ah, yes, ketchup and mustard. Oh, there is that yellow starting to peek through. See, I think the thing is that the orange that I have is the wrong shade, and it's better for me to kind of manually do it with the red and yellow to get it where I want to go. So let's see where this takes us brightness-wise. Okay, what paintbrush to use? Did I clean that? Hope I did. Not well enough, apparently. Ooh, that's rough. Okay, so I want to do effectively a heavy dry brush. Okay, that is not doing much more. Yeah, that's basically the same color. Good heavens. That's not going to do much. So and I am still seeing a lot of brown under that. I think we may just have another color for our next base coat. Really make this front pop. Yeah, that's better. The underbelly I don't care too much about, as long as you get the faint sense that, like, hey, there's orange under there. That's fine. But it's this front blaze that is really going to be the eye-catching centerpiece, just because of how the model is constructed. So that's going on there. As long as I get this flank area from the side looking like there's orange going on in here, I think that'll work too. Yeah, I think mostly I'm just needing to layer on coats. This is kind of the boring part. Colors have been picked. all the base coating has been done, and it's just layering it on so you don't get too much undercoat of that burnt sienna coming through. I'm just trying to pull this orange up a bit and fade it to this red here, which isn't doing too bad. So I still want some of that red in there. Now I've got some pretty egregious part lines I'm having to work around, but that's just nature of the beast. I really think that all the best stuff over here. Yeah, this needs to be a bright orange. Just base. That works. That works. There we go. Let's see. Not missing any chats. It's definitely an entertaining juggle of you're having to look and having to paint over here, but then constantly bouncing back. It's like, has anybody chat anything? It's the entertaining mini game of doing this here. Let's see. There we go. It's looking pretty good. Nice. It looks like I've completely missed a section of this leg. I've just been trying to paint the inside and the outside, so to speak. And sometimes you don't quite get all the gaps you were looking for. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I want that to be orange, I'm pretty sure. All right. There we go. Same on this side. Go. Yeah, that's better. All right. Yep. And that's paint all over my hand. Well, how are we looking so far? I am liking the look of this. It's actually looking way better than I was expecting when I started. Got some gooped up paint back here that I really want to get rid of. I want to start dry brushing and highlighting this stuff over here. Okay, I think we're just going to have to go for it. These wings need some dry brushing. This is the exciting part. Time to just pull out the yellow. We're going for it. I think I have been going by the rule that every color that I have, I put a little bit of burnt sienna in it. Okay, let's see. That is true. That's true. But the thing is, I've actually done this before with the yellow, with the burnt sienna, and it helps without it helps with the base coat. And the thing is, if I mess up, I can always just like go straight back to yellow and go over my dry brush. And that I've done that before, and that has worked before. So we're gonna go for it. That's the nice thing about dry brushing is that oftentimes it's pretty easy to just cover up your mistakes, at least that I've found. Okay. May have been too much, but ooh, that may have been too much. Let's see if we can get some of that out. Hello, Spader. Because honestly, brown is kind of my base. That burnt sienna brown is kind of like my base color palette. It's what's binding everything together. Okay, let's see what happens. Ooh. Not sure how well you can see it. This is pretty faint. But it's throwing almost this gold-looking shine. Oh, that is working. That is working. Woohoo! So it's kind of hard to tell, but it's giving it texture, which is really what these underside wings need right now. Something to give it some extra oomph in the texture department. I'm thinking what I'm going to go for is actually pretty heavy. Ooh, I'm going to have to fix that. Quick. Lift. Lift, 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 lift. Dab. There you go, Deb. I dabbed on stream. Are you happy? Go pretty heavy on these yellow highlights. Or these kind of this burnt sienna yellow highlight. And then I'll use the actual yellow to really, really make it pop. I thought you would be. There we go. Now we pop over to this side, and this one's going to be a lot really interesting because we've got, I was explaining this early on, is that this wing I printed horizontally, like this. This wing I printed vertically, like this. That's resulted in some interesting stuff. On the horizontal one, I've got all this great texture up here from the print lines. But on this other side, I have a bunch of this ugly texture. Where on this one, all the print lines are running horizontally. And I'm going to say someone's laughing at my jokes. But the underside is a lot cleaner, and you can see a lot more of the veins. So we're going to have to see how this dry brushes, because this could be a bit rough. Okay, so we're going to start. It may just provide the texture that we need. Okay, I might be going a little bit too aggressively here. Get those veins. So the first time I ever dry brushed, and actually did it right, I was so excited because it's really what took what I was doing and made me feel like it actually looked professional. Because for me, it's like, if I can't get a result, if I can't get the result that I'm looking for, it's kind of like, why do it? But as soon as I started dry brushing, I went, oh, I can get the results I'm looking for, and it looks good. And that was really what made this whole thing really what made this whole thing, I guess you could say, worthwhile, painting-wise. Because I knew I could get something that looked good. Yeah, this side, yeah. I would say this side did not turn out as well as this one. But we'll see. Okay. Man, that's come out good though. So now what we do is we go to straight yellow, pure yellow, and we do a lighter. You know, actually, I might even throw a little bit of white in here to really make that bright. Just a smidge. Okay. Let's go, team. And hopefully that will really make this go. Oh, right. I need to use this yellow. I know how to make it, but man, can I get this on the front here? Yes, enough. Whew. Still had some yellow left on my white brag. Okay. So not a huge amount of white, just enough to lighten it up a little bit. And this is going to be, talking about color balance, this is probably going to be our brightest color on here. Start over here. We are going to do a super light. Let's see. Super light brush here. Man, it's almost turning at gold. Which I mean, red and gold. What wouldn't the dragon like about that? So with that base darker yellow that we did very aggressively, just the tiniest addition of this bright yellow makes it catch a lot more. Yeah. Honestly, I may be overdoing it just a little bit here, but hey, I don't care. You know what? I'm feeling frisky. Guys, we're going pure white. We're going to see if we can get just the mildest hint of shine and heat from the inside of these wings. So using even putting on the palette, I'm just using a little bit here. Just a smidge. Nope. Sometimes you try something, it doesn't work. So we're going to go back to that bright yellow and just use that to cover up our shame, our mistakes. You have to ask, is the mistake when you just try something new? Go. Bring that up a little bit. See, I'm not sure if this is actually coming out in kind of the realism look that I was looking for, but what it is doing is it is creating some great color contrast. Fail faster. Yes. Don't get frisky on camera. Yes. I get you. I mean artistically frisky, MJ. Okay. Let's see if we can get this on camera a little bit more. Get this brighter yellow on the front here. Okay, guys. What's up, gang? All of a sudden, he is way, way more dynamic under there. That is so much better. You know what? I'm liking this yellow so much. You always gotta watch out what you say on camera. Is I'm just gonna dry brush his face a little bit. See how well this plays with the red. You can always darken stuff up later. As I said, I want the face to be a highlight of the piece because that's what you're going to be seeing. Sorry, I'm off camera again. I was doing better about this in the first half, but maybe I'm just getting a little bit tired. Look at this up here. Not sure I like it, but I can always dry brush other stuff on. Okay, cool. So we've done the bright stuff. So now we go into the dark stuff. We work on the back. So my plan is to stipple all the way down into there. And then effectively dry brush highlight the scales or low light with the purple. And then we really kind of the same way that we did like that dark yellow base and then the bright yellow as like the super fine highlights. We're going to be doing that with the dark purple first. And then we're going to use black to make it like crunchy. So first off, stippling. Which needs to get about there. Okay. So this was just adding some great texture on earlier on. And this will give the tail And pretty much everything on the back, some good texture, even if there isn't any on the crunch. I'm not sure what you mean by that. The parts that we aren't dry brushing still need some texture. Now, well, MJ, mostly black blue. Maybe. The thing is, the black I have makes a really like basalt like matte black, which is actually something that I've been really looking for. In fact, that's where I was getting this color. This is just using black as a dark light. Okay, MJ, that's okay. And I like that crunchiness, that kind of sense that it gives. So that's what I was going for. Okay, now we're gonna go for some dry brushing here. So I'm not trying to get down into the recesses. I already did that with the red. But I want to catch these ridges while I'm here with the purple. I forgot to stipple this side. We get this here. We darken up these top ridges. Then we do the ever slightest black. And when I say ever slice, I really mean just the very, ooh, that was too much. Right, ready? Ready for the dab again? Dab, 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 dab. There we go. There we go. Okay. Gotta avoid that place for a little bit. Let's see. This just gives him the texture he needs to actually look decent. Then, what I'm actually going to do is get this purple on the actual ridge. There we go. Are we on screen? Barely. Is forever the struggle to get it so that I can see what I'm doing and you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Close enough. Other side. Turn around now. I am very, very white. I'm losing my light. It's only 3 o'clock. Glories of living in the Northwest in November. Well, MJ, I have to thank you for the suggestion of using purple for darkening red back when we talked about this, because this is really making this work way more than I thought purple had any right to do. Now, you work on the neck. I need more purple. Yeah. Now, I don't think I want to actually stipple the legs, but I do want to kind of pseudo dry brush them. That's not what I meant. Deb, this is the most you will ever see me dab in my entire life. Feel honored. Yeah, this purple is doing a great job of giving a depth to the red that really needs to pop. And if you can see, all these little ridges right here, let's see, on those legs are gonna go really well. As long as I don't mess up my dry brushing. Everything works until you mess up your dry brushing. Color theory, great. Design, fantastic. Technique, oops. And also, I actually need to get in there too. All this. Now, a lot of the stuff that I'm going through right here probably won't be seen all that well on the table, but that doesn't mean that we can't give it a good hauler, good attempt. I'm just going to fix that later. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. Look at that flank. That's got some nice color on it. Now, for this side. Man, what is this camera focusing on? I have a hard time telling. Anyway, this is what I mean by dry brushing. It's just like this is what makes, in my opinion, this is what makes a model look good. And it's super cheap, I guess you could say. Like, it's low effort, and I feel like it's cheating. But like, this is what makes it look good. And maybe you could hand detail every highlight. Maybe you could do that. Maybe if you were doing like painting competitions, you would do that. In fact, I do know that when you're doing a painting competition, you really don't want to let washes do all the work. But with just a little bit of the few brush strokes, you end up getting this really good effect. I think what I'm going to do too, this will help give a contrast, is work this front edge with the purple, and that will help blend the underside and the overside together. Man, I'm loving this purple that I've got here. There we go. So I feel like this is what's going to pull these things together, is this purple edge highlight. And actually, I already stippled the backs of these wings, but I want to do a dry brush on them to really sell the effect. And one thing I have done before, gotten a little bit overzealous with the dry brushing, which can happen. Don't get me wrong, it can happen. But I'm liking where this is going. And where I'm getting a lot of purple, I'll probably brush in some black to really sell the effect. Yeah, man, look at that. Look at that wing. That is got so much texture on it. I love it. But I think the stippling is good for giving like an even texture over flat surfaces. But then what the dry brushing does is it naturally highlights the depth of the piece as well. So it's like you're not just getting the highlights, the stippling also gives you some depth in even the flat parts. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Now we need to get in. Right here. That around. That around. That around. Wrap this around. Wrap that around. Blend this in a little bit, and bada bing, bada boom. I think we can throw a little bit more. Never thought I'd be saying, hey, let's do some more purple. But look at me. Look at where we are now. Booyah. Let's see. Hey, thanks, Captain. Yeah, I'm liking the look of that. Now I think his face. Don't get frisky with wings. Yes. I missed some chats. I will try not to get frisky with the wings. Remember why I said that we can just like cover up these mistakes? Look at that. Mistakes covered. Okay, folks, look at that. We got some great looking back here. We've got some great looking front. Got our flanks going. We're getting close to the end here. We're looking at blacks. We're looking at blacks now to really make that contrast pop. This is a bad dragon. I want him to have black claws. Oh shush. He needs black claws and black lowlights to really sell that he is a bad guy. So I'm sitting on my foot again. Okay. Just take the lid off of this. Deb, I'm not quite sure I get what you're saying there, but I mean, when we started, this thing didn't even have both of its wings on, so. Okay, we can still salvage some of that black. Okay, this brush needs a break. This guy got. Oh, look at where we are. Look at where we started. Yeah. We're doing pretty good here. I had no clue how this was going to go. When we started, I had no clue that purple was going to be the key to this. But looks like it is. All right. Fresh paper towel. Fresh paint. Let us start. You know what? It's time for a new brush. Yeah, I mean, it is always possible that he is not bad, but he is an ancient red dragon. So there's that. Oh, that's right. That is from Hamilton, isn't it? Okay. Let's start down here. We'll make him a goth dragon and see how this plays. If it's too much, we need to go for like a white claw aesthetic. I think, yeah, this is pretty striking here. But I do believe that once it has some stuff to like connect to, that's gonna help. Because right now it has nothing to like tie the black into the rest of the piece. And I think it really needs that. Oh, good grief. We're on YouTube. I'm not even sure we're allowed to joke about that. Sorry, the commentary is getting a little bit lax. We're getting into the detail sections, which take a little bit more focus. I'm hoping that if I do this again, I will be able to get some music going on in the background. I tried, but I'm just streaming straight to YouTube, so I don't have the ability to go with like multiple audio inputs. But I'm hoping that I can get some broadcast software that will allow for music to be played. And I've got a lead on some DMCA free music that I can stream. So that would be cool. Okay, there we go. Claw's done. Now, let's see. MJ, what will I do with you? Okay. We're looking now at a little bit more of the exciting part here. We are going to be, no, actually, I'm going to use even smaller brush for this. We are going to be dry brushing with black to really get this cooled magma sensation sold. We're just throwing it up there. It's lightly getting those scales. Ooh, that is dabbing time. There we go. Ooh, saved it. So we're going to see how this works. Exactly. I really want this black on the, I think that's too late to dab off. So we are just going to get some of this purple back. Kind of like Nickelback, but, you know, Nickelback actually makes music. Purpleback is just, you know, I'm not even sure. Just going to cover up that black a little bit. There we go. Hide our mistakes. Because that's, as artists, what we do. Okay. Now, black jumps out. So when we dry brush this, we have to be super gentle. So that we don't do that. But what this is doing, giving some great low lights to these sections. What happened there? Ooh. More dabbing. Need some better light for this. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to work the way that I want, but effectively with some of these pretty strong black highlights, I'm almost giving not a comic book look, but like a cell shaded look, I guess you could say, that can help draw contrast. I just want to see how it looks. There we go. That has a lot more dynamic depth. We've got a lot more black. Super crunchy. Yeah. Kind of going with that cool lava aesthetic. You just need to go slow and steady. Not getting too patient. Making sure that those high contrast ridges pop. And when you're dry brushing black, you do not need hardly any black on there. Look at that. Booyah. Okay. Then we are going to see if we can get those horns black, and that will be the last piece of gray plastic that we're doing. Everything else, the highlights. See, I may need to move my light. My hand keeps blocking my visibility. Ooh, I lose words when I do in detail. Woohoo! That's fun. I can already tell now, I'm not sure I'm a fan of just the pure black on the horns, but I might be able to lighten it up with that purple. If I can get that purple going, it might look a little bit more sheen-like. Painting the underside of things. So what happens when you get someone a model you freshly paint? What's the first thing you do? They try to look at it from every angle. Okay. There we go. Ooh, that makes him look nice and mean, though. I'm going to have to make his eyes pop, though. Which I am not sure how I'm going to do. One horn done. Ooh. Bad posture. I'm being a little bit messy here with the black because I can always go back over with the red and touch it up. I don't mind. I mean, I need to be a little bit careful with the black because trying to touch over black can take a couple coats. But it's not too bad. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not done. There is no more gray plastic on this model. Booyah. Whew. Time to stretch. Now that is pretty fearsome looking dragon there. I think some purple into some red will look really good on those horns. I just need to paint up some of these claws and such on the wings. To just get a consistent aesthetic going here. go. Claws there's claws there. Claws there. Just gonna go with that. There we go. That is looking mighty fine. That is looking mighty fine right there. So now, excuse me while I take a moment to look at this. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to move my light around a little bit because I need a better view now that my natural lighting has kind of disappeared. Excuse the lamp. There we go. To get a better view of this puppy. So, what else is needed? This orange yellow up front is doing great. I'm liking the look of that. Let's see, can I actually get this over here? Let's see. There we go. So I'm liking the look of this orange yellow. I'm liking the look. It's upside down for you. I'm sorry. There you go. I'm liking that. The orange yellow. The highlights are working well. This outside area where it's kind of purple and black is working well. I think the claws need to be lightened a little bit. Black is a little bit too strong. I'm missing some areas here, but I'm loving the back. The back has turned out exactly how I wanted it to, of that kind of crusty, crunchy. I need to work some more on the back of the neck. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. So let's start with some of the areas that are missing a little bit of detail. So let's start with the neck, because the neck doesn't have as much lowlights as I would like. So we're going to start with that. And honestly, I'm even missing red in parts. You can still see the brown. So I'm going to start by doing a pass with all my reds to make sure that everything is actually covered. Because that's embarrassing. You still have your base coat peeking through. There we go. Some red in there. I'm ultimately not sure if I like the orange in the back there, but I think I can let it go. Then I'm missing, I can't tell because of the light. Yeah, okay. I need to adjust that. There we go. Tidy this up. Tidy that up. So yeah, right now we're just cleaning up details. Dry brushing that overstep the bounds. Colors that are not where they're supposed to be. And like where we were messing around with the face up here. I just need to go through here and like deliberately take out any of the parts where there was some yellow that got in here. Like right on the nose. There we go. And then we can dry brush and re-highlight those later. Yeah, mostly we're just looking for details that need to be fixed. Such as not having the feet completely painted correctly. getting between the toes. Okay, legit, my feet are kind of crinkling just a little bit with the phantom sensation of someone sticking a Q-tip between my toes right now, because this is exactly what this looks like right now. And then let's make sure all this brown gets taken care of. Excuse me, burnt sienna. On to the next foot. The main thing is, like, yes, I know we already dry brushed this, but it's like I can re-dry brush it. It doesn't take a lot of time, and it's a great way to kind of see where the model sits, like color palette wise and tone wise. And just re-dry brush it. It's fine. Okay, front feet are done. Time for the back feet. Posture. Like, I know I'm not a fancy dancy YouTube stream, but I feel like I've already got some emotes to throw up in chat, such as posture. Keep breathing, posture, all that type of stuff. And we can detail up this stuff with more black later. Okay, and then up on the horns here where we kind of spilled over. Not a terrible job. Yeah, that's the problem, is that covering up the black is actually kind of a challenge. Because it just takes so many layers. Ah, yes, thank you. Water. Much better. Thank you, thank you. So try and get rid of the black where it went over. I think this is a scenario where when I touch this back up, it's actually going to be, I'm going to have to be really careful with the black because the red isn't doing a super good job. See, that's looking better. That's looking better. It's looking pretty good. I've just got this seam here, which I would love to get rid of with some putty or something like that, but just as is, I'm just going to make sure that it's painted in the seam so that you don't see any gray poking out. If you can't fix it, at the very least, hide it. Let's see. Doing pretty good there. Pretty good. Honestly, we're getting really close. Okay. Man, we're looking at nearly 4 hours today, streaming wise. Hot dang. Okay, time to be super careful with the detail brush. Nas Deuce, the Black Nose Dragon. There we go. Sweet. That's better. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, and then we'll go back through with the black to make sure that all of the toenails are as they should be. Then once all this is done, I'm going to see if I can re-highlight some of this stuff. With that purple and see if that can actually give it a shine. Let's see. Aha, that was the egregious one. Nope, I need more black. Now, I would love to do a base for this, but I just don't know how to. I'm not sure it's worth the time and effort in the amount of models I need to paint. So we're just going to leave this as a base paint job. And we'll paint the base, obviously, but not going to do anything super fancy for it. Cool, cool, cool. I think we're just going to do a basic. Impression that these are spikes. Kind of frame his face a little bit. Okay, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? We need some more black dry brushing on just some of the random parts. And then we're going to start trying to use that purple to lighten up the claws. Get those feet touched up. Ooh, that was bad. And we're here for the dab. I feel like Dab It could be another classic. I figure out how dark I actually want his face. The black is ominous, but I don't want there to be too much crusty contrast. I am painting out of camera here. Go. I could subtitle this this whole piece as like painting a red dragon. Also, can Ian keep up a running commentary for 4 hours straight? I mean, if I have a superpower, I might be talking forever. So there's that. Oh, right. I need to highlight the tail down here a little bit, too. Okay. Yeah, I actually kind of like that. I like him with a nice darkness. Kind of that red, I don't know, that kind of red sear, kind of like right on his forehead. I don't know. I might even want to invert that. I don't know. We'll see what happens if we darken some of this up. Got a little less red. Ooh, that's fun. Oh, that's got some good glow to it. Nice. I like it. Ah. That's the problem with black. It's like you'll be dry brushing and then you'll just catch one little piece of where the paint just like was just sitting on the brush, and then you'll just get this massive streak, like you just took a marker in there. Food deliveries. Gotta love it. Deb, I think this is one of yours. After you. Okay. Last things. Purple dry brushing on the back of the neck. Followed by a little bit of black. And then go, that gives some depth there. Really give some depth there. Gotta get that. Yes, Maggie just delivered me some rolls. Ooh, tasty. I think. Oh yeah, that's right. I was going to do purple. On the black. The horns. Give it some color depth. And the same on the claws. We just won't talk about how the Cinder King likes purple toenails. He's a fabulous dragon. We'll call him Taliesin. There we go. So what I'm realizing is that the touch of purple is actually doing a lot to lighten up the black. Like make it almost shiny. Something I'm really liking the look of. Yeah. I think that's actually what I need the rest of his face. Can I help it? A little bit. Cool. On the flanks. Now, last touches are the yellow highlights. Okay, does that? There were even destroyers of civilizations need self-care days, apparently. Okay, we got this. We're looking at not a lot of yellow. We don't need much. That may have even been too much. That was definitely too much. Burnt sienna. Pull some out. Okay, let's see how this looks like. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Nice. So, if you remember about an hour and a half ago, we were dry brushing this burnt sienna yellow onto the orange areas to lighten it up. So we're going to do that primarily for the tail here. And then we're going to top it off with some yellow and white. Because it ends up making this kind of goldish color without being shiny. Which I actually learned on a different project, that if you want to darken yellow without going orange, go with burnt sienna and make it brownish, and it turns more into a mottled gold. I need this also on the... I don't want to overdo it. Insides here. Inside on the legs. We've got these fun little like leg spikes right here. I would love to do something with those. I see gray. I see brown. Come back here. I shall wash you away with red. Haha. There we go. This is really some of the last touches, I'm pretty sure. See, this is why I am not printing on a stand anymore. Oh, yay. I'm glad that I have extra audience members to entertain. Go. And honestly, we may not even need the bright yellow for this, because this isn't going to be super well seen. This is here just to give an impression of what is here. Kind of tie it into the wings. Yeah. Stop doing that. There we go. I do think that these little leg spikes could do with the purple treatment. Don't know who you are or where you came from, but I will find you, and I will paint you purple. There we go. And now, here's the fun part. Let's blend some of these. Because I don't want these colors to be too distinctly separate. So getting some of that purple on top of the orange and getting some of that yellow onto the red, I think will help make this all blend together better. You'll see the seam far less. But I may need more purple. I don't know. May not. It was working pretty good. I think I accidentally made the sunset color here. I need more purple. Okay, guys, I think we might hit the 2.5 hour mark. We'll see. But we have quite the individual here. Because now we're mostly just trying to fade these colors in disparate parts into each other. I think the winning color for that is purple. Man, MVP for this paint job. Cranberry wine purple. You have saved my bacon. It just blends super nicely between the red, the orange, and the yellow. Helps blend all these colors together so it doesn't look like there's as much of a seam between the colors. just that touch of black too to darken it up a smidge really helps too. Alrighty. Is there something else that I was missing? Because I'm feeling pretty good about this, guys. We've got a base to do. We've got some eyes to do. But man, I feel like this is pretty much solid. All right, I was just going to do a little bit of black thread rushing on the back of the neck. That was the last piece. All right. This cool black here. Really show this. Red Dragon is fire and magma. I've done that one just a little bit. Dab that away. Yeah. Got some good contrast on the front, I think. These front areas you're going to be seeing pretty strongly. Need that nice black spark, almost tiger stripes, to really get some. Man, I'm just realizing that half of my stuff I've been doing has been off camera. Not bad. There we go. Yeah. Thinking I may have actually overdone this black on these shoulders just a little bit. Just want to soften it up. Don't want to overdo it, but I do want the contrast. Yeah. So look at that. He is now very contrasted. The orange is good. The purple's good. Got some good transitions around. The only issue is some of his stuff, like under his belly, is hard to reach, but that's fine. He's got multiple texture and layer on his tail here. Man, it's solid. This is solid. Okay, we're looking for eyes. We're looking for eyes now, and man, that is a hard one. That is a hard one to think about. Because I could just go with pure white. I would love some small pieces of gem. I need something in contrast with those black crown. Maybe yellow, just a pure yellow. Might do it. I'm going to see how some of my detail brushes are feeling today. Oh, right, teeth. Thank you. All right, we're going to start with some teeth. And we're going to see if white is too punchy for the eyes, or if we need to tone it down. So we have a new brush here. This one can actually get a pretty nice tip to it. You have to kind of spin it and swirl it around. Okay, folks. Okay, let's see if we can clean this up later. Okay, and then what we do. Ooh, that was too much water. There we go. And we get right in there. So part of the problem is actually with the design. He has eye sockets, but no eyeballs. I may have to fix that. At least gonna go with some teeth. I'm getting a feeling here that white is not the answer. He thinks that actually white with some of that off-white yellow might be the best idea. Although, to be fair, this white is pretty striking. A little bit of touch up here and there. I mean, to me, he looks like he's a little bit too much in a toothpaste commercial. You need some color to those teeth. I think what we're gonna do is throw a little bit of this yellow that we have into that white. Get kind of a sickly off-white. You know, maybe even a little bit more. Yeah. There we go. See if we can get a good clean tip on here. think that's a little bit better than just pure white. I still don't quite like it. Although I like it better for the eyes by a lot. So I'm actually just kind of spraying this out here a little bit because I can just paint over it, and the thinner the layer, the easier, and I don't really want to risk getting too much water in where I already painted. So the white's going to be really easy to cover up. So I've got these old glue drops from my hot glue gun. I wonder if I can make these work. It's kind of pseudo eyes. Just enough to bulge out. And enough to paint. I think you need some gingivitis. Okay. We're just going to take this. And then see, not quite, a little bit too big. This is interesting. I've never done this before. No clue how well this is going to look. Doesn't even fit in there. Okay. I do have my hot glue gun just going right now. I might just be able to try to drop a bead in there. It was rough, guys. It was rough. I don't know what to do. The eyes are stumping me. I may just pass on them for now and wait for an opportunity to arise. The teeth. Can't go with black. That's not going to look right. Can't go with red. That's not going to look right. I think yellow is my best bet. All right, no mistakes. Teeth are hard. Teeth are hard. You know what? Not hot glue. Don't worry. I'm not going hot glue. You know what? I think we're back to our old friend, burnt sienna. I think what we got is white with the tiniest dab of burnt sienna to give us a nice kind of tan color. And we still have some in here. This dried out pile. Our Let's see if we can mix them up. Okay. Oh, we're gonna have to do this. Oh, actually have some right on top here. That might just give us the shade of tan brown that we need to be present and accounted for, but not overbearing. There we go. Okay, y'all ready for this magic? That was too much brown. Oops. No. We're just gonna, at the end of the day, at the end of my paint palette, we're just gonna be scooping from all over the place. Let's lighten that up a little bit. I mean, it's not perfect, but I like it better than everything else I've done so far. And I think we're going to polish this off with a little bit of red to touch things up. Maybe a little bit on the teeth, and we might just be done with that apart from the base. Apart from the base. So let's just make sure we don't have too much teeth on the face. Get the inside a little bit there. Looking good. Making sure that front beak is red. Get a little bit of, there's a little bit of push and pull back and forth. Finish this up. Got too much red on the back there. Go. Alrighty. I think that's as good as the face is going to get, as is. And now, the grand finale. We're going back to where we started. Burnt sienna and a big brush. Let's base this puppy. Being careful around the toes. We can touch them up a little bit when we're done. Getting paint on the desk because why not? Well, for everyone that hung out with me today, thank you for stopping by. Well, it was in multiple parts. This was my first live stream I've done in the painting department. I've done a few other things like D&D prep and such. This is the first one I've done in this style, and first one where I just kind of wanted to hang out and talk to people. Definitely fun to have an audience to talk to. And so, I just mess something up there? Just a little bit. That's not a big deal. So, we're just gonna base this up a little bit. Way too much water on it still. And let's take another coat, but for the most part, Onazdus, the Cinder King, Ancient Red Dragon. It's just about complete. I said, thanks for hanging out. I will do one more beauty shot once I've got in between the toes sorted. And then the last thing to do is get the base extra done. Second coat and touch up the toes and such. Bunch of boring stuff. Alrighty, folks. One ancient red dragon. I am super. Ooh, that could be fun. I do want the base to contrast with the rest of it, though. Burnt sienna coming in as a solid base. Cranberry wine. Yes, I know you want to write them. Cranberry wine, purple coming in as the MVP. I am super happy with this. I will try to post some pictures on Instagram. I think I'm iMacNS over there. I will find that out. I still may do some touch-up stuff like the edge of the wings and stuff like that, but this guy is pretty much done. I could fiddle with him for a while, but this guy crunchy. Oh yeah. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me. This has been a nearly 5-hour live stream. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for helping me with my painting ideas. And yeah, so long, everybody.